Hello, Detroit. This is Dimitri from Berlin, West Germany, and I want to tell you my story and what I have to do with the city of Detroit. In 1988, I started a small record company and I signed a group from Detroit by chance. And this project was called Final Cuts. And Jeff Mills, now a famous DJ, was a member of this project. So this was the first bridge to artists from Detroit. In 1989, like a year later, the wall was open, between East and West Berlin, and it was an incredible euphoria in the city. People and families got together again, The administration of the West Berlin government lost control somehow. This was a historic moment, This euphoria, incredible, And then these new tunes from Detroit came over, techno. It was really fresh in those days. No words, a very kind of it was not such a happy music, but it did fit. And the kids from East Berlin and from West Berlin did like it, It was a common subject. It was kind of a challenge. And the lucky situation was that the city, the east part of Berlin, was full of empty spaces. Can you imagine? A lot of empty spaces, a lot of euphoria, no police, no curfew. That was anyway a law in Germany. Since 70 years we have no curfew in Berlin, thanks to the Americans. They arranged it. So the conditions were really good to start something. And we found also an old vault in the center of Berlin, between the two infamous walls. It was an old Jewish bank house, and in the basement we found this incredible space. And when I entered this space for the first time, I said, this is like opening a pyramid, This was a very, very special moment. And I was convinced from the first moment something special will happen here. And what happened was that the sound of Detroit came over, spoke to Mike Banks, and I said, kids from the East need your sound. And this sound came over and became the sound of the reunification, This reunification took place on the dance floor finally. Really, the kids from East and from the West Berlin, everybody liked this music and start dancing in the dark. This was so intense, and it did last for 4 or 5 years. The brand Tresor became a symbol, for getting together, for looking into the future, for first nights, dancing through the night, That was Tresor. It became over the years a philosophy. We signed many acts from Detroit. We flew them in, and I remember very early days when Joy de Santiago, she arranged all the flights there, and the Detroit artists came over very, very late, like 9 p.m. So we could arrange a dinner, and then we went to the club to party till 6, 8 in the morning, and then they had to take the first flight back to Detroit. There was, what a shame, I thought. Later on, it changed, and the artists stayed here, overnight, and stayed a few days, and we learned each other, So the Tresor became also the spot where East and West got together in a very friendly community, and we thought about new ideas, The club stimulate and encouraged young people to join us in a way like that they also started an own business, do something. It was an incredible movement because there was so much empty space, and the government said, okay, we can't give it to you, but you can use it maybe for 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. It was a law of temporary use for space for the artist. And I can tell you thousands try to do a small startup, and they did. And in addition of all this small startup, a huge economic force, a nighttime economy began its run, and it became very popular. Today, in 2020, we are the capital of electronic music, and we must say thank you to Detroit. You gave us the first tunes, and we still love it. The Tresor really became this brand where everything started. And we're still there. This is unusual for a club staying over 30 years, So the people who are working for us, the employees, and they love to work for Tresor because it gives them an orientation. We are a symbol for an alternative company, for something different, We didn't sign any contracts, We always did depend on the safety, if we can keep the space or not, And in 2004, 2005, we had to give up our first space, but I said, that's it, it was 14 years, and I said, that's it. It was like the same period like Motown in Detroit, and I said, okay, because my employers convinced me and said, Dimitri, you're a space researcher, explorer, you find something. And I found an old power plant. You can see it under an old Kraftwerk, You can see it watch it under Kraftwerk, Berlin.de. And wow, I was so impressed, but the work was so so intense. It did cost so much money because times have changed. When everything started in 1991, it was easier. It was really, you found a spot, you cared for a fire escape, stairs, or for an emergency exit, and you got a kicking sound system, one red lamp. That was enough. People wanted just to enter a parallel world. They were looking for this door to go into this other world, because they were tired, and they were looking for a space where they could really among their people, and these places like Tresor have and still protect, our customers, our people against, strange mainstream activities, and we try also to keep these difficult people out of our world. Anyway, Tresor has influenced so many other people to start something finally, and it helped a lot to that Berlin is now the capital of electronic music in the world, because beside the clubs, and we have about 150 venues and electronic music bars, we have also the industry here, who writes software programs like Ableton, Native Instruments. But everybody knows Tresor was the beginning, was the, how you say it? The source, and the cradle, I don't know the word, die Krippe. I must say, the good thing is that these brands did stay with me and with you guys, with the friends from Underground Resistance, with all these people like Blake, and Eddie and Juan. So we try to keep together, At the moment, it's difficult because Corona stopped us starting parties, opening the doors, and we don't know what will happen. But on the other side, I think we will go new directions. There will be a new Tresor, and people asking me, the people who are now between 20 till 28, these young kids, asking me what's going on. These kids have not been born when we started like 30 years ago. And next year, actually, we want to do a big jubilee. It's 30 years Tresor. And I can tell you, if you have ever a chance, to start your own thing, stay with your ideas, believe in yourself, go for it and stay with it, because all you do and put into your brand is important also for you and for other people, The investment and the care to curate your brand, your idea, makes sense. People today, or employees, they said they want to work for a good brand, even if they don't pay less than another company. Because the philosophy, and the values of our company, the human values, the respect, against others, and to keep together, to be fair among each other, It's not a lot, but it works. I say thank you, Detroit, for your help, and have a really good Charivari event this year. And as soon as it is possible, come to Berlin, visit us, and we will visit you. And I'm so happy that we have reached so much. Tresor is now respected also from the administration people, the government people. And we are a brand, Thank you. Bye-bye.